here. I'm here. Reading instructions and didn't even realize that it was live. And honestly, I'm gonna choose to use this live more as a recording than anything else. And I'm just here relaxing. But I was just thinking to myself, and I have been thinking to myself, and I'm not sure how many people talk about this way, but I'm going to add my voice to it. A lot of us in life are basically either super optimistic, pessimistic, somewhere in the middle, or we're optimistic, but at the same time, we have underlying pessimism that hinders forward movement. There are a lot of people who will say things like, they'll say things like, oh, nothing I do matters. It doesn't make a difference. Because of how people are in general, there'll never be a difference. Things have always been this way. It's not going to change. And those things are on that line. We're going to say cancel all of that. Rebuke it actually, every single one of those things. Because I'm one of those people that believe that if everyone would just seriously in themselves decide that we're going to make a difference, and every single person, when somebody says, hey, let's just do it and make a difference, just say fine. Even if they just say fine, I'll do my best. And everybody actually did their best. You'd be surprised to see how things go if we stayed consistent with it, because in anything in life, consistency is like so essential, more essential than people know. I don't know if you guys have ever watched certain videos where they show an elephant, this big elephant, and he's tied to like a little stick, like a fairly small stick for what the elephant is. Like he could rip it up, but he doesn't try to rip it up. I saw a video of a horse, and the lady just went up to him and acted like she was putting a rope around him, the rope to get him all rigged up and whatever. Sometimes it's a rope, sometimes it's like the full harness. But she was pretending, and then she just went, and then she held it, and she started walking while holding her hand how she would usually, and he just started walking. And I give those examples to say that those animals have been conditioned for a really long time that they couldn't break free from the harness, from the string, from when they were young. And so, even when it's not in place, they don't even realize it. If they were in a big field and there was always a fence, and let's say the fence was out of view, but they always knew the fence was there and it never worked, at some point, they're wherever in the center of their field they are, even if the fence is removed, in their mind, the fence is there, and so there's no hope, like, never mind. Further to that, there are so many studies that have shown that the children of animals who have been conditioned in a certain way have it in their DNA that they remember. They remember what doesn't work. And then even when it can work, so let's say we had some monkeys or something, and every time they went to a certain banana, I'm trying to remember the example, all of the monkeys would get shocked or get thrown in cold water. They'll be hurt until they stop all the new monkeys. But then eventually, when those monkeys had children, the children just knew not to go there. They were afraid. And so at this point in our lives, many of us should sit down and think about one, the traumas that we carry that hinder us, that we may or may not be aware of, as well as the preconceived notions and things that might have been in place, that might have hindered people over years, that we still live with thinking that's the problem. Imagine if, and I can't confirm it, but imagine if for the past couple years or so, everything that was around to limit us had already been broken. And the only reason that we weren't more to the end goal of the positivity and peace and togetherness that we want in the world, the only reason is because we weren't all trying. We all had stopped trying. When people try, there's no support or very little support. Sometimes they may even get picked off by people who are totally against, even though they're like a real minority. Or they just shut down. Maybe the media more um, pushes certain things down. And I feel like some things they're just not able to suppress as much as they would like to anymore. And I strongly feel that everyone was doing their best, everyone was on the forward positive movement train. They just couldn't suppress it. It would just be too much. It would just be too much. And even if they could suppress it online, the talk of it and the energy of it would still be everywhere and be growing and continually growing. And of course, so again, I say this all to say that for all we know, at this point, the highest or most impactful thing is us. There's so many of us now on earth. There's so many of us that to be controlled, to be a certain way, to choose a certain life of things is in our control. And it's in our control, starting in all of our hearts, to love and have compassion for each other. And it's in our control to move forward, planning for each of us together moving forward. So, I strongly believe that if people would stop thinking about what has been, what didn't work, what hasn't worked, and just say, this is what I want. This is what we want. Do you agree with me? And you say, do you want it this way? And then people be like, well, it'll be great, but that's just a dream. Well, it's gonna be a dream. We just know because you're speaking it into existence that you're saying it's going to be a dream. If we can't agree to make it a reality, how are we going to make it a reality? I need to drink some water. How are we going to make it a reality? I think that's a great hashtag, maybe. Make peace a reality. But we'll see.